All right. Peace and love, family. What's going on? It is your boy Mario Quinn, and we are here with yet another episode of the Level Up Podcast. This is episode 114. Yep, you heard it, 114 of the Level Up Podcast. Man, I'm super excited. Just want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Hope you enjoyed your day. Hope the ladies got some nice treats and flowers and balloons and whatnot. But super excited for today, man. We haven't been on for a couple weeks, just took a quick hiatus, just to kind of refocus some things. But we are back, and I have a wonderful guest. I got a return guest on the podcast. This brother is someone who is the epitome of hustle. You know what I mean? Somebody who inspires me every day with all the things that we're doing. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our very special guest, my boy Scoop Low from ScoopTV. Scoop, how you feeling, brother?
Very good, man. I'm feeling good. I cannot complain at all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, thank you again for joining us. I know you got a lot of things going on. We'll get to that. But for those who may not know who you are, which I'm sure is very far and few between, if you could just let them know who you are and what it is you do here in the city of Pittsburgh, and of course, across the country and everything like that.
Okay. So my name is ScoopTV. I'm originally a mayor from Pittsburgh. Just recently moved to Houston. So basically, when I was here, I started doing the interviews, and that kind of branched off to the clothing brand that I got going on. That's been going real crazy right now. So we're just back promoting and just doing what I do best, and back to the roots.
Oh, so you said you recently moved to Houston?
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about that journey. Like what made you make that decision? And what's happening in Houston?
There's a lot of good things going on right now in Houston, but what really made me want to move for real is just I wanted to expand what I had going on here, just taking that leap of faith, which I call my collection of my clothes, the leap of faith basically, because that's exactly what was going on in my life.
Okay.
Like, I just felt like here, I love here, this is always going to be home, like I always say, but at the same time, it's just like, if you want to see farther than what I'm doing, like it was like an everyday thing here for me. I wanted to switch it up a little bit, so I see what I can do, what I can offer in a different city.
Right. Dope, man. So in terms of moving to Houston, taking that leap of faith, I love that. I love that you called it. You said that's the name of the brand.
That's the collection I had.
Cool. Yeah, that's dope, man. So what are some things that since you've been down there, what connections have you made? Have you run into any roadblocks? Like, kind of just walk us through what it's been like.
That's a very good question.
Sure.
Well, basically, like me getting there at first, it was definitely this is the detachment part of everything. Like letting go family, not seeing them every day, not being able to be there. That was like kind of hard for me at first, but over time, I just was really saying how supportive my people is, so it kind of made the process a little bit easier. I definitely connected with really got with a lot of people out there and connected with a lot of people. Basically, just taking the same tactics I was taking out here, linking up with these storefronts and stuff like that, clothing people that do clothing out there as well, and just putting me in position to get pop-up shops as well. Like just getting my name out there in the store from the footwork I was doing out here, just taking the same review and put it out there.
Amazing, man. I love it. I think again, you've always been the type of dude to just go out and get it. Can you tell us about maybe something that happened down there, like a connection you made that you're like really proud of, that you're super excited about?
Man, that was like most recent actually before I came here. And I can tell you about a story. So when I first got there, I was kind of like scrambling around looking for like a job or something. This thing, keep my bills and stuff like that. And I was working at a telemarketing type of company thing. And literally that same day, he kind of like, I was working for about like 3 days and they let me go.
Oh, wow.
It's wild, right?
So why did he do that?
Man, who knows? I guess I wasn't just running this like that. I wasn't going as fast as he wanted to. So I'm like, so he let me go. So I'm in the house really thinking, for some reason I didn't get mad because I didn't get like put down or anything. So literally I walked outside and there was like there's a furniture store there where I live at. And I was over talking to one of the managers there. And I was like, how do I go about getting a job here? He said, like, this is a very good job for you. Like, people make a lot of money here. Famous people come here all the time. You say you got a clothing brand, maybe that can help you clothing brand.
You said this is a furniture store?
Yeah, it's a furniture store. Like, it's like a luxury one that everybody like go to. So literally, as he says that, I don't know if you're familiar with a rapper named Sauce Walker. Yeah, he's from Houston. He's real big out there. Like he's like, I guess I would say like the way out Wiz this area.
Okay.
That's they. You know what I mean, Sauce Walker out there. So next thing you know, as he says, like, yeah, there's famous people coming around all the time. I woke up, and I see him like, is that Sauce Walker? Like he comes in there. Mind you, I had clothes on me when I was at the time. Got him a shirt, and that got connected with. We gonna probably do some work in the future for real guys with his management and all that. So, you know, this little things like that is just inspiring because, like, I was really like, for me to take the fall that day, and I could have easily just been like giving up, like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't, and then it was a blessing right after that. So it's like you just gotta, all right, stay motivated, whatever is going on, because you never know what can happen for you, bro.
No, that's peace, bro. And I love that. I think that, you know, a lot of times it's really, really easy to get discouraged, right? When things ain't working out, you're like, damn, man, like, thought I had it in the bag, and then, you know, some unexpected shit happened.
Right.
But I think it's keeping that mindset of like, yo, no, I'm gonna be good. I'm abundant. You know, I'm protected and stuff like that. You know, it just opens you up to more opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not focusing on the bad part of it. You're like, you know what? I had that experience. It didn't work out. What's next? You know what I'm saying? So, no, I respect that, man. So, you know, outside of that, has there been any other big connections that you made that like have been significant?
Definitely. I'm tied in with a shoe store down there that I do pop-up shops a lot of there. Trusted Kid, shout out to Trusted Kid. You know, I run out there in Houston, check them out. You know, Trusted Rico, all the people. But yeah, I'm building a real good connection with them. I feel like that's gonna be something real good for me over time because as long as they're growing, I'm gonna grow as well. Like as long as I'm growing, they're gonna grow as well too. So it's real easy to eat out there. It's like real easy to make those connections too, because it's like a lot of like-minded people. Right. I mean, that's always good to be around.
So you know, being from Pittsburgh, you know, a lot of people say, you know, Pittsburgh people don't support and all this stuff, you know, and I think there's layers to that.
There's definitely layers.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's all the way true. I just think that, you know, people have a way of just supporting in their own way. Are there any significant differences that you see versus Pittsburgh versus, you know, folks in Houston?
It's more hands-on the support there. I feel like, but there is like you don't have to go through so many loopholes to do it. Like I mean, it's not one of those things they see other people support you, so I'm about to hop on the wave and support you. They're doing it from the jump. Like there's so many people that I actually was just talking to that first time, and then we made something happen right after that. Like even with the people I was talking about, Trusted Kids, like literally, I walked in the store, I talked to them, like, well, how you feel about me doing like a pop-up shop here? And they told me what I needed to know, and we really made it happen. Versus here, sometimes it's like, I don't know. This is where I feel like we lack in Pittsburgh, where people don't understand that we're able to do the same things and still strive and go forward. And I feel like that's something that keeps us behind because it's like, wow, you know, there's a lot of different ways you could really look at about life, and you know, it's like how we going to put each other there. We're not in a big city where we can do that. Like there's a small people. There's not a lot of people here in Pittsburgh, so why not help each other so we could be better and be more known and people will want to come. This should be a hub. This should be a city for when these bigger artists come here. We should be able to have these type of sit downs and podcasts and interviews and stuff like that. It's just like everybody just want to be the top dog here. And I never understood that. There's so many different top dogs in Houston. You know what I mean? They're not looking at it like that. They just want to keep building. Right. So
it's not necessarily like a competition.
It's not. Yeah.
And I agree with you, man. Right, you know, I've never been to Houston. I'd love to go. But you know, I've been down to Austin, Texas before, and just like the love like that I got down there, and I was doing something more work related down there, but like everybody was so nice. You know, everybody, you know, spoke to you and stuff like that, and like, you know, oh, what do you do? You know, I told them about Level Up. You know, that's so amazing, and like, you know, sometimes here is like you share what you do, and people kind of look at you funny. You know what I mean? And I think like, yeah, man, like Pittsburgh, there's so much talent, right? There's so much talent, and I think it's like, yo, there's room at the table for everybody to eat. If only we stop looking at each other as competition. And so I think that's something that, we definitely want to continue to work on that. And I appreciate you saying that because that's real, man. That's real.
Right.
And I try that. And personally, I try to like make sure like anybody, bro, that I meet, if you're doing something dope, that's cool. I'm not gonna hate on you, nothing like that, man. I'm a support as best as I can, So you got any projects and family? If you do have questions for Scoop, feel free to comment here on Facebook and YouTube. We are taking questions and things like that. So if there's things you want to know, let us know. But Scoop, so I know you got a lot of new things going on. All right, you hit me up like, bro, I got some shit to talk about. So tell us what is new in the life of Scoop right now? What's going on?
Okay. Well, right now I'm falling back into the music. I got an album that it kind of got pushed back. I was supposed to drop it on the 24th, but I just want everything to be right. Just as far as like the marketing, as far as like where it's getting distributed from and stuff like that. I just want to make sure the business side of everything's good. So we're still in the process of working on. I got a couple features that I'm waiting on as well, but that's one of like the big things that I really wanted to push with my music. It's called Club Universe.
Yes.
So the reason behind that is because like I really feel like this was my brand and my thinking. I'm kind of alienated from the society. Like a lot of people don't. I feel like a lot of people. There is people that think like me, but there's not. We all are our own person. So it's like I really wanted to push that through. So with this album, it should be dropping. We got like 16 tracks on there. I'm gonna drop on there, and that's real big. I got a lot of new clothes about to drop, and I really want to push that because kind of fell back. I would say some people might not look at it as like that, but I just know, like me personally, I know how much I drop usually. So I mean, I'm just taking a step back. I want to have more one-on-one pieces. Like I wanted to be a little bit more limited this time around versus previous drops that I had before. Yeah, it's this a new me. It's a new mindset. Like I really feel like my mood really helped me clear my mind and it's put me in this space that I really needed to be in. It really helped me realize a lot of things too. Like I'm maturing so much every day. Like I don't react to stuff the way that I usually would react. And it's like, and that's a big part of your growth. Like a lot of people don't understand that sometimes. It's like sometimes you got to take them steps back to really regroup yourself and understand what you got in front of you. And it's like I'm just really blessed right now, brother. I can like, man, like like it's just crazy. Like, man, just even going back to the last time I was here, we was just talking about it. It's like really, it's so crazy how powerful your mind is. Like a lot of people don't really know that. Like you could literally say anything, good or bad, and it can happen. And I'm just trying to preach that a little bit more, and it's like the viewers and it's everybody knows. Like if you really got something that you want to go out there and do it, just do it. I told people 5 years I was going to move out there. We did that last interview 11 months ago.
Right. It was like last January, I think. Yep.
Exactly. So it's like you never know what you can do. So you can do it. Right.
I love it, man. And again, you are an inspiration, dog. And also somebody who I consider a trailblazer and a great role model. Just when it comes to entrepreneurship, following your dreams, and doing what you got to do to make things happen. So, talk a little bit about you said you learned a lot, right? I heard you talk about even making your pieces more on the one-on-one exclusive type situation. What are some other things that you've learned along the journey that you think has really skyrocketed where you're going?
It's I would say just being patient, being more patient about a lot of things. Like me is like how sometimes I do kind of rush things, where I feel like in society they kind of put a time limit on everything,
Right.
And we have our own journey for a reason. Like, you go through what you go through is because that's your journey, that's your path.
Right.
And sometimes I need to understand, and I feel like everybody needs to understand. Just because this person has this or attained this or whatever they got going on in life, that's their moment, that's their time. Every dog has their day, but when it's mad, it's gonna be forever.
Right.
You feel me?
I love that.
Like for real. And it's like, I tell people that all the time. Like, it's like people we and it's just I really feel like social media got a lot to do with that.
Because it preaches a lot of like you gotta produce fast.
Exactly.
And it's cool to be consistent, but it's like sometimes if it's not quality, it doesn't matter how fast you do it. It might not catch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, definitely just being patient. Like I'm very strong on that right now. Like just getting to know myself too. It's like sometimes you gotta take the time to really get to know who you are. Like, and that's what I've been doing a lot lately is just soul searching. Like really out here, just being on my own. It felt good. It felt like I'm spreading my wings and I'm flying. Like literally, like I'm floating with life right now. Like, and I just gotta appreciate every second, every moment of it, and just make the most out of everything.
I love it, man. And I think, having that peace, that time to yourself, it does that, man. I remember when I the first time I had my first apartment, I lived by myself, like away from my family. I was young, I was like 18. You know what I'm saying? But just like that time that I had with myself was like, yo, like I and it was right before I moved to Pittsburgh, so it kind of got me mentally prepared for a new city. You know what I'm saying? And so, no, I respect that, man. And I also wanted to speak on, the patience piece. I think that's so important. It's so crazy. I'm a real big believer in like synchronicities. Like I've recently, and I'll be very transparent here. Like, I've been going through like these mental things where I'm like at the verge of like, do I really want to do this?
Exactly.
Because it's hard, bro. People see it and they're like, oh, level up's so cool and all this, and it's like, bro, I don't understand how hard this shit really is. Day in and day out, dealing with people, dealing with money, dealing with taxes, dealing with this, and that. And, but I was speaking with my wife earlier today and just telling her, like, I can't give up. I know my time is coming. Because it felt like it was. Everybody knows that, we were aiming to expand, level up Apex, we're going to get a new space. And then I got punched in the face with a big no. Right. And I'm like, oh, I thought I had it, and it felt like we were ready, but it was like, it wasn't the time, and it's hard, because it's like, I need money, you know what I mean? I want to build generational wealth for my family, but I'm like, nah, Mario, you gotta go back to the drawing board. You gotta, really reflect on what you're doing and make sure that the systems that need to be in place to be successful, because it's like, I can become very successful and not be ready for it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So that patience is everything, man. So I really commend you for saying that, and it's crazy. I was thinking that, man, when am I gonna get this meal? You know what I mean?
Like, you were saying a lot of key things too. Yeah. Is going back to that drawing board. Right. Sometimes you have to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just had to get, I had to change some of the classes we were doing because I felt I was forcing it, instead of letting it happen naturally. I'm like, if it's not working, don't force it. Exactly. Only work on the things that are working, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, outside of that, so you got the album coming out, you know what I'm saying? You're doing pop-up shops. I heard you mention when you came in, you just did something really special out in Monroeville. Did you want to talk about that?
Yeah. I would like to talk about that. It's still early too. At KDKA News, 11 o'clock. I'll be on there. Shout out to the collab. I want to speak on the collab because I feel like it's real dope. It's a very dope environment for the people who don't know about it. It's my friend. Her name is Kate Boss, and another guy named Donald. They had started up a store in Rosemont, basically where it's like so many different black-owned businesses. There's different other businesses as well, but they come in there and they collaborate. They have different vendors and stuff, and so you can really showcase your business and stuff like that. There's a lot of clothing vendors, people that sell candles, a lot of different. It's like a market basically, and I feel like it's just so dope. And I feel like that's something the city really needed. Like I heard a lot of people speaking on, they was trying to do that same thing, but for her to actually like take the step and do it, this is real motivating. Like, so shout out to them over there at the collab. So right now you can also purchase my clothes in there as well. So you got that. That's another reason why I came down there to actually promote that as well. Whenever I open the store. So that's something that's real big for the city. So y'all ever get a chance to go to Rosewood Mall, it's right there to Macy's, right on the left hand side. You check it out. Get some ScoopTV jerks, some exclusives.
I gotta go up there. I gotta get something, man. I don't even think I got anything. I've been trying to collect different local pieces and lines and stuff like that. And that's so dope, man, because like Monroeville, that's a great market. Yeah, it's a great market out there. People spend money. They do. You feel me? And I think I'm like low key proud. It's like because of the black owned aspect of that to be in these types of spaces that are traditionally very white spaces. Right. That's dope, man. And so hey, hats off. Keep my on, but nah, man, that's hella dope. So I seen something like that before. I don't know if it's the same people or not, but they up the street on Penn, the old Rainbow.
Okay.
They kind of have like the same kind of
Oh, yeah,
situation.
they're about to have something like that too. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Shout out to them too.
Yeah. So that's dope as fuck, man. So hell yeah, man, I love it. So I'm gonna ask a fun question. At least what I think is fun. All right, let's see. All right, if you were on an island and you could only have three items, what would those items be, brother?
That's a good question. Right.
Goofy as hell, I know.
3 items, I would say definitely some music. Keep my mind mellow. Some food. Well, I had to eat. And, I don't want to do something too like basic. I'm trying to think. And that's a good question. I'll get that third one. I don't know, like something that's gonna keep me warm or something.
Exactly.
I
was looking for that. I was like, hey, other than the food, that's gonna run out.
Oh, really? That's like something that's
gonna keep you warm, dog. Yeah, storms gonna come through, dog.
For real.
Nah, that's funny. So yeah, man. So family, again, if you're just now tuning in, this is episode 114 of the Level Up Podcast. We got ScoopTV in the building, just chopping it up. So you got all these great things going on. You're out in Houston and making those connections. Things are really looking up. What do you hope? Where do you hope to be, or where do you see yourself being? Maybe in the next 2 to 5 years. Like where do you see ScoopTV really?
Definitely, I really just see it all over the place. Like this more national versus like a local aspect. It's like I want a lot of people to know. I want it to be viral. Definitely branching off to different things. Cause I see myself doing different things all the time. So right now, I want to actually be the outsource for a lot of different things, like marketing stuff like that. People come to me, they might put whatever they like short film on my network, ScoopTV, turn into like some type of network type of thing. It's so many different things, but it be sometimes hard to answer that because like my mind, it's like it's 1,000 different thoughts and 1,000 different ideas. But if I was to really jump it out all into one, definitely make it more so like corporate type of company for media, clothing brands. Right now we're doing a lot of outsourcing. I'm doing a lot of consulting for people who want to start a clothing brand. That was something else I wanted to talk about that we got going on. Because right now I feel like the clothing design and stuff like that, I wouldn't necessarily say it's watering it down, but a lot of people is catching on wave to that. So I kind of want to be the one that's giving the sauce away now. Like, you know what I mean? Of course, so that's why I really started up my consulting business. I'm actually doing a seminar tomorrow for people who don't know nothing about like getting started with the clothing business. I'll be able to teach you and help you up with these manufacturers, hook you up with people that do websites and stuff like that. Just taking a step back to teach.
Right.
Because I had to be, I had to do that too.
I love that, man. Yeah. I think that's that sense of responsibility that you kind of get once you get to a certain place. You're like, you know what? Now let me share what I learned. You know what I'm saying? I think that's super important. If you don't mind, again, my goal with this podcast is to offer as much value as possible to our listeners and of course our viewers. What's one thing you can share about having a clothing line? Maybe that you would consult with someone. Just like one major, one important thing that someone who wants to start a clothing line, just one step that they should take.
Definitely, I would say do your research. Definitely researching what you need, the materials, the lingo they use, how to talk to
the language.
Yeah, the language.
Yes.
So this is one thing I really got to do. I love this question for asking, bro, because a lot of people don't understand. That goes back to even with the podcast. People don't know what goes behind all this stuff. They just want to jump in and do it.
Right.
Exactly. So with the clothing, is a lot of that too. Like there's so much stuff that goes behind the process of actually coming up with a product. You actually have to think how you're going to be different from everybody else, how you're going to consume people to want to buy into your clothing brand. So you always got to keep your mind going. So one thing I would really say, for is just definitely do your research about anything you do. It doesn't necessarily have to be clothing, but researching is powerful. For real.
Not for real. I think because it's the knowledge piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you can just jump into some
You
shit
could.
and learn, but you want to be prepared because again you'll run into way more problems going in blind with anything. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you sharing that, man. That's dope. Again, family, if you guys have any questions, of course, please leave a comment. I'm gonna check Facebook because I was just on YouTube. I'm gonna check Facebook right now. If you have a question for my brother Scoop, let us know. I don't see any comments on here thus far. But again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Rizzy Rick says, Scoop. He said, what's the deal? So dope, man. So outside of the consulting, which I think is a really dope way to give back to the community and to those who are coming up. What else is next?
I would say it's basically I'm gonna definitely keep it going with the clubs that a lot of people are expecting a lot of new drops from me. I think I'm gonna give it. I got you guys on the one. Yeah, I want to bring these back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna definitely bring these back. A lot of people have been asking for them.
Is that the joint that zip all the way up to? Yeah, I just saw your post. Like, what y'all feel about this?
Yeah, where like that really would put me in position that I'm in right now. Like literally, once I dropped them, oh my God, it just like it went crazy. Like the city went crazy, and that's picked up to me actually meeting a lot of different celebrities. They start wearing them and stuff like that too. So that really put me in position. So I'm like, man, let's give it another try. Let's do a little different, more flavors, and like I don't know, what I got next is just want to be the best version of me, man. I'm still working on myself and just trying to be the best I can be, and just be better, man. I feel like that's what life is all about. Like when you really find your purpose in here, that's the path you're working on. That's how I'm gonna keep growing. That's how I'm gonna keep elevating. So,
I love it. Yeah. So in terms of because I've seen it around everywhere, but in terms of like placement, you know what I mean, for your clothing, what was like one place that you saw it that you were like, oh shit, that person's wearing it, or it's in this, it's in this thing or that thing.
Man. Shout out to my boy Trigger Woods, man. He going crazy with the promotion right now. He like doing a lot of the club promotion. This one time, I promise you not. I walked in it's called Culture. The place he is called Culture. It's a club down here, like after hours. I go in there. I seen literally almost the whole party with my hoodies on. Never seen that before. I was like, damn, like the support that I feel like people don't understand how good that feels.
Right.
Like I'm saying, like, yo, this is my work. Like this is really my stuff. Like this is I put money into this.
Right.
Everybody's really wearing it. Like it was just like it was good. It was like a surreal moment for me. Like and it is all the stuff that I see is motivating. Like I know, and like I've been through a lot, bro. Like I really been through so much stuff, and this is like for me to get to the position I am now. I'm just happy, bro. Like I can't explain it no more. Like I'm just happy, man. And that was really one of the biggest moments for me, bro. Like since I've been doing the clothing, so it was like one of like the biggest moments. I'm like, this is really wild. I'm thankful.
I love it, man. Give you a couple slow snaps for that. So I just got a few more questions for you, brother. Again, appreciate you being on the show. Family, of course. If y'all got questions, send them now. Because I only have a few more questions for you, man. But this one is a little bit different than I've done in the past. But what's one thing about you that people don't know? Like, what's like one like? Not be nothing crazy. Just like a secret thing about you that you keep to yourself, or you just don't talk about, but like it's something that's true about you. What's that one thing?
I mean, if you I'm gonna answer it like this. If you know me from before, like I was real goofy. I used to play around a lot, but a lot of people mistaken that for me not being as intellectual as I really am. So I would say a lot of people like they probably see me outside of like the internet and stuff. Like they probably don't know how intellectual and how like I was. Yeah, I mean people know I ain't no dumb dude, but it's like how smart I actually am. Like you really sit down and have a conversation with you could really learn a lot. You you're gonna hear them jumps all the time because I'm always gonna drop them because it's like
you've been giving them to us today.
So it's like one of them things. Like I feel like a lot of people don't really get to see that side of me. That's why I love these type of podcasts, and I appreciate you for even letting me be able to really express myself and let people get to see this side of me because it's like that's why I like doing it. I love doing interviews, even though I do them. I love like getting interviews as well. So,
yeah, I just recently got interviewed on a podcast called MIC. It's supposed Mike. I forget. It's like Masters and something.
Okay.
But it was like really cool to talk about myself.
Right.
And I have to like ask you about them. So they kind of like gave me. It's interesting how like when you do talk about yourself or about what you're doing, it kind of gives you more clarity. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can figure some shit out. Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? So nah, man. Again, Scoop, appreciate you, bro, for being on the show. Before we get off, is there anything? And I have my last question, of course, that you know about. But before we get off, is there anything that that you didn't get a chance to mention that any shout outs, anything like that that you like to give right now?
Yeah, I'll give a lot of people a shout out. Like I said, shout out to Kate Boss over there at Colette. She's doing a lot of amazing things right now. Definitely, if you don't know what's going on, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know what's going on pretty soon. Shout out to Trigger Woods. Definitely, he's doing this thing on the promotion. Just tapping with him. He's over there on our culture. He also got a new spot. I was like the slappers and stuff. It's like an old taboo. He turning it up, man. If you're looking for a good time, just bring a new flavor to the city. A lot of different opportunities too. I mean, and basically everybody, if you've been rocking me, just continue to rock me. It's only going to get bigger and better. And I just want to be humbly say this, like I really appreciate everybody who just been supporting the movement and just been sticking with me. And you gonna see, man, we gonna go straight to the top, man. And see how we went crazy in Pittsburgh. We gonna go crazy in Houston. We gonna be there just chilling at the top one day, and I'm gonna take everybody with me.
I love that, man. It's good. You know what I mean? And don't ever, I just want to say this: don't ever think that people don't see, bro. We all see your grind. And again, it's super inspiring, man. Like seeing folks like you, in general. It's like, man, that's what keeps me going. It's like I gotta keep going. Gotta keep doing, following this dream until we get to that end goal. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. So before we hop off, if there's a piece of advice that you can give to the people, whether that's a young person or just somebody who just wants to, pursue their dreams, get in the game in any way, if you could just share a piece of advice to them, I'd appreciate it.
Definitely. I always like to say, definitely always be yourself. The only one you in this world. Mm-hmm. Nobody else can duplicate anything you did. I mean, they might try to, but they can't. It's you for a reason. Like, we all go through our own journeys, our trials, tribulations for a reason. I mean, that kind of build our character. So every day, do something that helps you build your character. Do something to think outside the box. It's things bigger than your environment. Sometimes you gotta learn when you outgrow your environment. It's time to see other things. You know what I mean? One was always gonna be one. Just keep being you. You will always grow.
I love it, man. I love it. A couple slow snaps for that. Now, before we get off, one last thing, man. Obviously, I want you to plug. There's let people know your social websites, wherever they can find you, get the gear, get the music, all of that.
Okay. Instagram's probably like the biggest thing and the best way to get in contact with me, which is ScoopTV 24 on Instagram, my YouTube, where all my content drop interviews. We're getting back into the interviews a lot too. I got 2 new interviews dropping pretty soon. Make sure you stay tuned for that. That my YouTube page is ScoopTV PGH. My TikTok is ScoopTV PGH. And if you have any inquiries with clothes or anything like that, just DM me on like Facebook or Instagram. My Facebook is Scoop Up. So check me out. Shout out to Level Up once again, man. I appreciate you so much, bro. For real.
YouTube. I'm like, I'm already subscribed. Look at that. Cool. Heck yeah, man. All right, cool. We're family. This has been episode 114 of the Level Up Podcast. Of course, you can follow your boy Mario Quinn at the Mind of Quinn on all social media platforms. Check out my website, MarioQuinn.com. You can find my EP on there and buy it straight from me. Or if you're one of those people who like to stream stuff, of course, I'm on everything. Just type in Mario Quinn. Of course, please follow Level Up Studios at Level Up PGH, and of course, leveluppgh.com. We are on everything. I think the only thing we don't got, which is a damn shame, is TikTok. And we're a dance studio. Help us. But we appreciate you. We appreciate you guys, man. Again, keep following your dreams. Keep being the best version of yourself that you can be. Understand that it is a process. It is a marathon and not a sprint. So take your time. Today's word of the day for me, man, is patience. I love it. So we appreciate y'all, man. Have a good rest of y'all Valentine's Day. It's your boy Mario Quinn, boy ScoopTV, and we out.
Peace.